What is the lamp of the body? Matthew 6:22 leaves us subtle clues, but it doesn't give us a definitive answer. Are the healthy eye and bad eye in line with evil eye symbolism? Does this statement return to Kemet in the lamp of Osiris? Unfortunately, most theologians immediately make the eye plural and bring Shaitan into the conversation, confusing us further. Some people like to avoid philosophy and anything abstract, and that's okay. Anyone whose orthopraxy is on point is all right with me. However they let their lines of thinking manifest into their lives is all that matters. That being said, I'm a firm believer that lasting change comes from within and pours into the world around us. So if you're one of those people who's on that meditative state leading to living in that tranquil place of peace, then rock with me as we take that journey within. What up, though? It's your boy Justin. Welcome back to the Mystical Mind State. Today we're looking at the wisdom tradition. This is something that doesn't get a lot of attention in the West. We hardly ever hear of terms like kenosis. A gradual stripping of the personality is somewhat unknown to us. I mean, how many of you have heard the saying, God became man so that man could become God? Granted, non-dualism is getting a lot of attention lately, but it's not something that's readily understood by most Americans. Wiktionary can define it as the belief that dualism and dichotomy are illusory phenomenon, that things such as mind and body may remain distinct while not actually being separate, but what does that even mean? See, we get straight into the stripping of the ego and think that we have to let go of everything that we are in essence. Hindu philosophies don't even define ego in those terms. It's something more akin to of the form of I am or the self. It's an aspect or principle of nature, sort of like Yeshua using ina or I, like the great I am is speaking through the little I. It's similar to the Buddhist concept of no abiding self. In our perpetual state of becoming, only the great I exists. See, when we're future tripping or suffering from memory, we're stepping away from the present moment where only God is. Luckily, Westerners have guys like Meister Eckhart to help them develop their understanding of the concept. You can think of kenosis like a detachment from the non-essentials, things like material possessions or personal taste, affections, family ties, power and wealth, things that aren't directly related to your survival. This is the renewing of the mind that Paul is actually speaking about. When we can see the smaller self of personality as a part of the whole, where dualism seems to be an us versus them illusion to overcome, the old man, and a fluid conscious awareness of God being all that there is the new man, right? Sadly, we don't tend to think of the renewing of our minds as an awakening to our true nature, and yet Luke 11:36 specifically states, the eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is clear, then your whole body will be full of light. The Greek word is ophthalmos, right? It just means eye. It's not plural, it's a singular eye. In this case, as with most instances, this describes the true eye of the soul. Yeshua would have used ayin from his native Aramaic for eye, and it implies the eye of the spirit, or what he called the lamp of the body, right? Now, some of you know this. In Egyptian mythology, the lamp of Osiris relates to the eye of Horus, or the Wajed, right? It means whole or healthy. Are we starting to see how Near Eastern wisdom offers a sort of mystical bridge between Kemetic philosophies and Eastern traditions? Very few people in the Protestant world have any real concept of Christian mysticism or the method said mystics use to find God within. Fortunately, that's changing as a growing number of Christians are beginning to seek the depths of the mysteries and realizing how deeply meditation was embedded in the Jewish roots of their faith. We are starting to embrace the Near Eastern mysticism that serves as much of the backbone for the wisdom tradition Yehoshua actually taught. Think of how he described the purpose of parables to his disciples. It has been granted to you to know. They knew who they were and they knew who they belonged to. They felt the great I am move through the breath being used to speak to each other. They knew they were children of the living Father. When we understand God's presence is dwelling in every atom, the belief that we can achieve homeostasis and live in love becomes believable. Non-dualism becomes something we can actually come to know. We start to follow Yeshua's ethics and work towards manifesting the kingdom in our waking lives. Why else would the stripping of the ego or the stripping of the personality be so vital? It's service to the kingdom 101. So long as what we want or who we prefer to be is driving, we will never see Malchut. Emptying our little I is a slow process. It's one that involves letting go of aspects of ourselves we've identified with. As we carry on our journeys of self-discovery, it slowly occurs to us we can simply observe our actions in real time. We spend more and more time observing our mental states and unearthing what psychologists call triggers. That's something that affects emotional states by causing extreme or overwhelming distress. Now, since triggers affect our ability to remain present in the moment, we see the benefit of becoming aware. We see specific thought patterns influencing our behaviors and how they've led us around by our noses for years, right? We start to understand how much peace and quiet our minds will receive if we simply let go of outdated modes of thinking. If your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Be still and know that I am. Try spending a few minutes every morning breathing in Ina, Ina, and exhaling Ina, Ina. Focus on the interconnectedness of breath and body and look for God breathing in the breath within you. Enter into relationship with divinity within you and outside of you. Until next time, continue breathing in life and living in love. 1. Yo, I want to take a moment to genuinely thank you for taking an interest in spiritual growth. There's no greater honor a teacher can receive than watching other people learning how to live in love. If each one can teach one, they can reach another and another. And before you know it, love becomes the mode and the entire planet is a more compassionate place. Now, we're community people, so pull up your browsers, search mysticalmindstate.com for more resources. There's hundreds of blog posts covering dozens of topics. Now, if you look at the top, there's even a tab to reach out. Feel free to email me any questions, prayer requests, special interests, whatever. I'm an approachable guy. This is really what I do. You can skip the email list to hit me on Insta or any of the meta sites. I'm also on Tumblr under the name Brother Hermes. There's over thousands of posts floating around on that one, and there's a huge community of people that I'm active with. It also has an Ask tab, so if you got something you want to know about, feel free to drop an ask and I'll get to it as quickly as I can. Like this video if we vibe together. Feel free to subscribe and jump in and follow the movement. Enter into the conversation, drop any comments or thoughts below. I'm always open to debate. This is really what I do. I love watching people grow and evolve. I love people finding the divine. You are my reason. Your spiritual growth is my why. So again, thank you for your time. Peace.